Steven, can you cross-post me? Steven? Steven? I think I might be live. Well, hi everyone, I'm back. We are back, we are here. And there was an issue before about sound. But now we're good. We should be good. I'm just trying to get everything together here. Let me know if you can hear me just fine. And I think maybe it was Courtney Robinson that was talking. We had two mics up here. So that can definitely get in the way. I'm trying to see comments right now, but my phone is flipped. But once again, we have some strong storms rolling through the area today. No surprise if you're in Tampa right now, the city of Tampa. It is right over you. It is right over us here we're on the Gandy. It really got loud in the last 5 to 10 minutes because that leading edge is now moving into the Tampa Bay area. It is now moving into southern Pinellas, now approaching the northern edge of Polk County. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lake and Orange County, technically out of our area. But if you have any friends in those counties just to the north of us, they have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for about the next 10 minutes as this line continues to push through. No severe storms at this time for our viewing area. But I'm going to zoom in. Why can I not see my comments? I would love to sit here and answer your questions, but I cannot for some reason. That's fine. Okay, there we go. All right. So let's zoom in here. We're going to go around the world, around the Tampa Bay area, just to show you where the storms currently are and where they're about to head into. I'm trying to set up my phone so that I can see everyone's comments. I'm going to be on here for a little bit. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up. Say hello. Tell me where you're also watching from. We have a few people on here. And we're currently in the noon show, so if you're watching, Courtney and Bobby's up there giving the full forecast. And we have a full house today. Grant's here, Rich is here, Tyler's here, Bobby's here, and I'm here in the streaming center getting hyper local with you all in regards to today's severe weather threat. We are in a slight risk for severe weather. I'm actually going to pull back up the SPC outlook. Let's see, this is day one, exactly what I need. Hey Carmen from Spring Hill. Hope you are doing well. All right, so you see the severe weather outlook. That yellow there indicates that level 2 slight risk for severe weather. And what that means, we could see a few strong to severe storms today with the damaging winds, hail, and a waterspout or a tornado among the main threats. Pretty much all the threat categories there for severe weather are possible today. And we've seen almost everything kind of play out. We've had one severe thunderstorm warning in northern Citrus, mainly for Levy County, a tornado warning for northern Pinellas moving into the Palm Harbor coast, some rotation. We have no confirmation if there was a waterspout or a tornado just yet. I don't see anything here on the chat. Yeah, I don't see anything here on the chat, the National Weather Service chat. We communicate with them when there's warnings that go into place. So we had a couple of warnings today, not really a widespread severe weather threat, but these storms are packing a punch. Let's go back to the radar so you can really see what I'm talking about. Hey, Lindy. Thank you so much. Yeah, the name kind of fits the brand, huh? Autumn. Parents did a good job with that one. Kind of see into the future, I guess. But here's that line moving through. You can see all of that lightning associated with these storms. That's not necessarily a severe threat. It's not in the criteria. But that's a really good indicator that these storms are feeding off of some pretty good instability there. And that kind of really shows you how intense these storms are. So these are nothing to play with. And even if you are not going to be in a warned area today, let's say another warning is called within the next couple of hours or so, and you're not technically in the warning, but there's still storms in your area, you need to get inside. We have seen lightning reach out well ahead of the storm today. So if you look out in the distance, you see those dark clouds. Don't stay outside and keep looking. You need to get inside because even though it might not be right on top of you, that lightning can extend out about 5 to 7 miles in some situations. So you want to be safe. Whew. It is coming down here at the station. I wish you guys could hear it. It's coming down here over the Gandy. Gloria said, hi, any tornado warning? We just had one, Gloria, and that was for northern Pinellas moving into the Honeymoon Island, Palm Harbor area. It looked like it could have been like a really quick water spout, a quick spin up. A lot of times with these tornado warned storms, we really don't know if a tornado has touched the ground until we get confirmation. Usually we have a radar indicated warning, which means that they saw a little bit of rotation in the atmosphere within the higher levels of the storm. So they called that, and there was a potential for that storm to produce a water spout or a tornado that moved on shore. At this point, we don't have any confirmations of a tornado and just one tornado warning of the entire day, which is good. We've been in situations where we have been under multiple tornado warnings in one day, and we're not really seeing that here. Sometimes with these squall line situations, these quasi-linear convective systems is what we like to call them, kind of a big weather word there. You can get these notches within the storm. You see this really defined line of rain moving through, but sometimes we get these notches, a bit of some inflow there, and you can really get that quick spin up. But as quickly as they spin up, the quicker they kind of fall apart and dissipate. And I think that's kind of what we saw with the storm moving through. Well, the line is moving in, especially at the coast, interacting a little more friction, and that's how you get those quick spin ups, those quick water spouts that sometimes form and move on shore. We see that a lot here, especially with the type of environment that we have. So just one tornado warning today. Mona said there's lightning hit the lights, went out for a few minutes. Yeah, that's another thing. Lightning could really affect your power today. Even the wind threat. We still have really gusty winds moving through with these storms. That can impact power lines and whatnot, trees hitting power lines. So you'll possibly see some flickering lights in your neighborhood as these storms continue to roll through. And Mona asked, how long is it going to last? Anna asked, is it going to rain all afternoon? Thankfully, no. What it looks like now, this initial line is really just pushing in here at a moderate pace, not super quick. This has kind of been an all-morning situation. As we get into late afternoon, early evening, depending on where you guys are, I'm not sure what neighborhoods you are located in, Mona and Anna. If you want to drop down your cities here, I can give you a little more details about what you can expect for the rest of the day. But basically, if you are in Pasco County to the north, you are done with the severe weather threat. Your severe weather threat is over for today. There could be some lingering showers behind this initial line, but no more strong storms are expected to roll through. But Polk County, you are just now getting started. This main line is now pushing into the Lakeland area. It's going to happen within the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. So if you live along I-4, travel along I-4 for any your commute, heading to lunch or anything, you need to know that there is a really strong storm moving through. It's about to hit you. It's about to be right on top of you. It's already on top of the I-4 area in Brandon. You see the Plant City all the way to the Florida State Fairgrounds, Brandon, the casinos over there. If you live in that area, you know that it's very loud right now, and there's very torrential rain moving through. That's a very busy travel intersection or travel area in the city. So hopefully there's not a lot of people traveling on those roads, but it's really tough to drive in this. Anna's in Pinellas County. I'm in Hillsborough County, Tampa. All right. So Mona and Anna, you are already seeing the worst of it, depending on where you are, Anna, in Pinellas County. Some areas are already seeing some improvement, especially northern Pinellas, like the Clearwater area, Safety Harbor, Tarpon Springs. They're still seeing rain, but their severe weather threat is over. So you have the all clear with the severe weather. Now, if you are in the St. Pete area, downtown, I'm going to zoom in. That's a rowdy storm. If you have to travel along any of the bridges within the next 5 minutes, don't. From the Howard Franklin all the way down to the Gandy, it's just blanketed with torrential rain right now, so that's not great. Pinellas Park, Shore Acres, of course, St. Petersburg, Boca Ciega, down to Tierra Verde. There's still a threat for severe weather at this point. It's just a really strong storm moving through. And the good thing about these storms moving through today, they are on a weakening trend. So as they continue to move south, we see a little less of a threat, especially as we get into our southern counties. But the thing is, with these situations and with these lines of storms moving through, especially on a day like this, where we are seeing a little bit of sunshine peeking through those clouds, that's a good indicator that there could be some destabilization in the atmosphere. We don't want that. We don't want to see the sun on days like this. The storms feed off of that and that instability there, and they can become a little more intense throughout the day. So hopefully in our southern counties, that weakening trend still continues, but they did see a little more sunlight out there today, and that may make situations a little bit worse. But if you are in northern Pinellas, you are on a clearing trend. Things are getting better from here, but pretty much central all the way down to South Pinellas, there's still rain that's going to be impacting you at least for the next 20 to 30 minutes. Heavy rain, torrential rain. Do not drive in this. We just took a power hit. There's going to be more power hits for a lot of you all today. You see how this line is bowing out here? As you get into South Tampa, Davis Islands, passing through the Gibsonton area. See how it's kind of bowing? That's a good indicator that there's some strong winds along that leading edge of storms moving through. And that's pretty much the threat that we are expecting today. So when you get that bowing there, that could be some really strong winds moving south and east. Let's go into Hillsborough right now. Let's see. Oh goodness, where did okay. Oh gosh, why is this happening? I'm just gonna answer questions right now until I figure out what's going on with my computer. Probably because we took a power hit. I can't track anything, at least right here from where I'm working. Wind and rain in Brandon. Heavy rain went through Dade City. Oh yeah, I'm in Clearwater, 8 minutes away from the beach. Yeah, it should be improving. Bear with me, you all. I have to log out of here and log right back in. Hopefully I can get back in so I can track these storms for you, because if I don't have this up, I can't really do much of anything. Yay, okay, it's working. We are cooking with gas, my friends. Cooking with gas, we're back. All right, so I'm gonna zoom back out here and show you the bigger picture. If you're just tuning in, a few of you may be. Yeah, you see this line right here, strong storms moving through. We've been talking about this for the last 4 days or so. We've had the risk in effect, and we knew these strong storms were moving through. If you live in Georgia, the Carolinas, I mean, I know some people that tune in to our Facebook page and they don't necessarily live in Florida, but if you are in the Southeast, you understand the severe threat that has been in place over the last couple of days. We're just getting the tail end of that pretty much. This cold front is making its way through and bringing us some rough weather. We haven't had a lot of severe storms today, at least in our area. We've had one severe thunderstorm. There's really mainly the conditions are more favorable for severe weather to the north and east of the area. So that's why Lake Orange, Osceola, and Seminole counties are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. That is out of our viewing area, though. But of course, if you have any friends in those areas, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour possible. We have seen hail, or some indications at least, of some small hail, pea-size hail up to a quarter size in some of our northern counties today, and that's also a threat. Lightning is not a official severe weather threat. There's not a criterion for lightning, but we are seeing a lot of it. And if you know what's been going on here, at least in the news, we've had some lightning injuries lately. Lightning is, in a lot of sense, #1 killer when it comes to severe weather, or just storms in general, weather in general. So we have to be careful with that. If you are in any of these areas, especially in southeastern, Hillsborough County, Polk County, where you haven't seen any rain just yet, look at that. This is what we're talking about here. So no rain or storms that have moved through. This is just east of Waimama. We see that lightning strike. That is well ahead of this main line of storms, well ahead. Lightning can strike miles outside of a storm. So on days like this, we just prefer that you are inside. Cancel those Disney plans. I know, we want you to be safe. Those Busch Garden plans, because situations like this could happen where lightning can strike well ahead of the messiest of the weather. Scott said these storms are like a carbon copy every day of the same extreme line of storms coming in from the Gulf. I wouldn't say it's a carbon copy. This is not the same, but we do get these squall lines, these quasi-linear convective system lines moving through, especially during our springtime and wintertime seasons where those strong cold fronts move through. The atmosphere likes contrasts, all right? So then there's really warm and moist air at the surface, and then there's cooler and drier air further on top, and sometimes you have really that upper level wind support, so really strong winds, and the northern at the higher up in the atmosphere, and then you have maybe a strong low level jet bringing in strong winds as well. You can really get that interaction there that can cause straight line winds and also spin-ups and tornadoes. And we don't really get that every day, so I wouldn't necessarily call it a carbon copy, but we do get, you know, these squall line storms moving through every now and then. Lately, we've been getting a good bit of it. Almost every week we had a severe weather threat, because it's that type of season. It's storm season. It's spring. You know, if you're in the deep south, you understand that springtime, you know, you get some good days and you get some rough days, and this is definitely one of those days. Nita said, everyone be safe, catch up on rest. This is good sleeping weather, just be aware. Mona, is it going to get over to Manatee County? It sure is, and it's about to head there within the next. I'm going to actually track this out. And Bonnie said, Brook Ridge. I'll get to you, Bonnie, in just a second, all right? I promise. Let's draw this out. This line is moving. It's moving kind of fast. Let's go 45 miles per hour. Let's zoom this out here, draw it out, and then push it out. So Lakeland, you can expect this storm to be right over you at about 12:28 Winter Haven, 12:47, 12:57 for Parrish, 1:11, excuse me, for Lake Wales, 1:22 p.m. for Duet. And these storms are headed directly into Manatee County. So, yeah, that's the case there. I'm going to get away from this track. But that's the latest track. If you live in any of these areas, hunker down now. We do not have any warnings in effect at this point. But these storms are certainly packing a punch. Let's see. Of course, if you have any more questions, please let me know. We are so Brook Ridge, I forgot who asked me that. It's Hernando County. It's a lot better up there, way better improvement. They've kind of just gotten through the worst of it. So who said that? Bonnie, you're pretty much good to go. All right. Mona, of course, you're welcome. Virginia, it's storming here in Zephyr Hills West. Sounds like it's diminishing because it is diminishing. The storm is continuing to push to the south and to the east. So Zephyr Hills are going to be in the clear here, at least with a strong storm threat. Pretty soon, of course, hunker down in the meantime. We don't want you going outside. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit more. So yeah, your Zephyr Hills West. Yeah, there's just steady rain at this point for you. The steady rain. Brooksville, you can see steady rain. And look at that. Citrus County, there's some spotty showers up there, but they're clearing up. Still some clouds around. The Hernando County coast looking good. Pasco County coast, if we're starting to see some clearing there. Just really steady rain all up and down inland Pasco, all the way into Lando Lakes. Steady rain in northern Hillsborough County, or at least northwestern Hillsborough County, the Carrollwood area. Some improvements along 275. Still, the rain is pounding in southern Pinellas. It is pounding across all of our bridges here. So, of course, if you have any friends driving along those areas, if you have to drive along any of the bridges today, 275 or the Gandy, I would suggest you don't. At least not right now. Give it about an hour. We'll see some improvements there. 20% low battery, of course. That always happens. I need to do better with charging my phone on storm days. Notoriously bad at that. Once again, if you're tuning in, we're getting hyper local here, all right? So ask your questions. Let's have a conversation. No hail, please, says Anna. We've gotten some hail reports today. They're not significant, which is great. We had some really big hail in Highlands County. Was that Monday or Tuesday? This week is a blur at this point. I think it might be Monday. Like golf ball size hail, Midwest type of hail. We don't really get that. But when you have that dip in the jet stream and those storms are tapping into the higher levels of the atmosphere, it's a lot colder up there. And so those water droplets, those updrafts, they go up into the atmosphere, they hyper cool, super cool rather. And then what falls back down is, of course, hail. And we get that sometimes with our storms if the air above us is cold enough. And we had that play out. We had that set up earlier on this week. These storms are still tapping into the higher levels of the atmosphere, so we can get some hail today, but I'm not expecting that big old golf ball size hail that was just coming through in our inland locations on Monday. Pea-size hail, and of course, regardless, whenever there's a hail threat or a damaging wind threat, I always suggest people, if you have a garage, if you're lucky enough, I know I don't have a garage, but if you do, bring that car into the garage, put it in park, take all of those loose items outside, your garden gnomes and all of that, put them in the one spot, you know, bring them into the garage as well, possibly, because things could, you know, whip up, move around. When we have, you know, these severe thunderstorm warnings that are capable of producing really strong wind gusts, and that could be a damaging situation. Those loose items can hit your home, they can hit your car, hit somebody else's home or car. That's a little more awkward. You have to explain that while your garden gnome is in someone else's window. So just, you know, play it safe. Always take these severe weather threats seriously, because we've seen some very damaging storms move across here in my 3 years I've been here. Even though we don't really have that typical supercellular structure like you see throughout some parts of the Midwest, these storms can still pack a punch. A lot of times when we're looking for rotation in the atmosphere, we look for those greens and those reds coming together, that gate-to-gate shear. I'm going to actually show you, not debris, show you what I'm talking about here. We're not really seeing that play out right now, which is lovely. I'm going to go across this leading edge here and try to see if I see any rotation, and I don't, which is awesome. When you see those greens and reds together, the greens indicate, oh, this marine warning. Those greens indicate, that's not what I want. Those greens indicate winds coming towards the radar. The reds indicate winds moving away from the radar. When they're close together, that gate-to-gate shear does indicate that there's a rotation in the storm. Now, it could be transporting down to the ground, so when we ever have tornado warnings, we want to make sure that you are prepared and inside your safe space in case we do have those rotating winds that have come all the way down to the surface. Sometimes they don't, but we always have to act as if a tornado is on the ground. Right now, there's no tornado, and I'm not really seeing that indicated here on our velocity product. I'm scanning through here, just strong winds moving through with this leading edge of storms. You can even see these pops of pinks here. Let's query this. Pops of pink indicate strong winds, 45-mile-per-hour winds moving out of Socram. Gibsonia also seeing some strong winds as well. But that's really about it for now. Let's look at hail. I'm not expecting to see anything huge. Yeah, I see these little pops of orange here. That indicates there could have been a little bit of hail with some of these storms. Small hail, pea-size hail, nothing that would set off a severe warning. But that's still a threat. All right. Trying to see any questions here. Scott said, all the years I've lived in Florida, you used to be able to such a watch. Oh, to sit and watch by the storms at 2 o'clock. Oh, set a watch by the storms at 2 o'clock every afternoon, and the sun would come out. That doesn't seem to be happening anymore. That still happens, especially depending on where you live. We get those daytime heating storms and sea breeze-driven storms that usually set up in the afternoon. When I was living in Miami, I went to school in Miami, every day during the summertime and during the fall, 3:30 every single day, we had a thunderstorm, and it was just a very robust storm. And that's just the case in these situations. You have enough moisture, that deeper moisture over us, you get those tropical downpours, you get the trigger there with the heating of the day, and that could trigger some of these stronger storms moving through. And all of the ingredients are usually together by around 3:30. That's when we get the peak heat of the day. Usually get a sea breeze boundary pushing in, causing those storms to flare up. So we still definitely see that, especially depending on where you live in the state. It may hit you at different times, but during the summertime, you get a storm almost every single day, especially if that deeper moisture is present. Let's see. All right. So just zooming in here around this line. Nothing warned as of yet, but most of Pinellas County, excluding the southern area, the southern tip, is improving. Pinellas Park, still some moderate rain moving through. Most of Pinellas County, just steady rain moving through at this point, but there's some improvements, guys. So yeah, like I was saying, this is not going to be an all-day situation. You're welcome, Anna. You have a blessed day as well. Virginia, she says you love those storms back in South Florida. Weren't they fun? It's not fun to be stuck in it, but you kind of get used to it. You know, living in South Florida, you know it's gonna rain. Have an umbrella. Sit it out in the parking lot until it goes through. But we are seeing some improvements, just moderate to light, steady rain now passing through most of northern Hillsborough County. I'm just taking a look here. If you see your city, let me know, and let me know what you're expecting. Day 1 marginal convective. Oh, hell. Well, look at that. The National Weather Service just dropped us from a slight risk to a marginal risk for severe weather. So we are out of a level 2, we're down to a level 1. That risk is slowly but surely being peeled away, which is good. It doesn't mean that we don't have a threat for a severe storm today, another one, but not as big of a threat. Still, these storms are packing a punch, and you really don't need a severe thunderstorm warning for a storm to become dangerous, especially with all this lightning that we're seeing. Will the temperature, oh, no power in Brandon, that's good to know. Lisa, thank you. No power in Brandon, and that's when we were seeing that leading edge moving through, and it was bowing out. I was telling you guys about when you see these storms bowing out, that's a good indicator of damaging winds, and that could have possibly brought down, I don't know, messed with some of the trees and impacted some of the power lines there. So thanks, Lisa, for giving us that report. If you have any reports in your area, down power, lines, power outages, flickering lights, just let us know. But Virginia asked, will the temperatures come down a bit due to this storm? Yeah. Let's look at our temperatures right now. You actually will see the difference there. That rain-cooled air has really brought down the temperatures. And you can really see the difference compared to some of our inland locations where they haven't gotten any of the rain just yet. Let me find it. Bow, bow. There we go. So you can see it is 72 in Safety Harbor, 69 in Trinity, 68 in Odessa. So we're in the 60s in many spots just because of that cold air that moved through because of the rain. So a lot of Pinellas County are now in the 70s if you step outside. Of course, it's still raining out there. Still probably some lightning, possibly, but your severe threat is over. If you go outside within the next hour or two, you will feel the difference, comparatively speaking. But you can see in some spots where they haven't received the rain just yet, or they're just now getting the rain, and we haven't seen that temperature change or be adjusted yet. Still in the 80s, so about a 10-degree difference across the area, even a 15-degree difference across the area, especially when you look at Newport Richey, 69, compared to Arcadia, where they're at 83 right now. So that's a huge swing, and that's the power of a cold front. That's what we're seeing today, and behind that, we have those winds shifting out of the northwest. Of course, that's driving in the much drier and cooler air for us. So for your Friday, check out these temperatures. I'm going to actually go down here and show you all the temperature map. Some improvements here, all right? Especially if you're like me, you think it's a little too early for it to be this muggy, be this hot. We had heat indices this week, yesterday. Heat indices in the upper 90s. I saw one heat index temperature somewhere inland, I forgot where, at 100 degrees. It is April. Tell Mother Nature that it is still April. It's too early for all that. But we're going to see some changes here over the next couple of days just because of this cold front moving through. And I'm trying to find my graphic, y'all. Bear with me here. Thank you for being so patient, by the way, as I try to navigate this little glitchy system. But I do want to show you all what we're going to be expecting. Here we go. Forecasted highs. So for today, our forecasted high was 84. By Friday, about a 10-degree temperature swing. 75 for Friday, same for Saturday. And we're going back up steadily on Sunday, but it will still be nice. So we're back in the 70s. That's below average. When normal temperature for this time of year is 81 degrees. Of course, we're warming up slowly but surely, so our normal temperatures are slowly but surely getting back up into those 80s. But we'll be below average, but not a huge dip. And there's not a cold snap by any means. Once again, we are in April, so we're not going to see any freezing temperatures as we head into the weekend. But our afternoon highs will be really comfortable. It's still going to be a little windy though, so that's the only downside, the only caveat there. But I mean, 75 degrees, sunshine, that's perfect. You can't complain about that. Goldilocks type of weather. Yeah, and 100, wow, yeah. So, yeah, friends, we have some good weather to enjoy once these storms roll through. But for now, we just got to get through the mess that this is today. And by golly, is it a mess. We hear that thunder over our station right now. Oof, look at that. Look at that. Oh, gosh. So much lightning. So much lightning. And of course, yeah, Florida is the lightning capital of the world, but we don't ever want to see all this lightning just in one concentrated area. That is not a good situation, and it's a good indicator that these storms are still maintaining their intensity. Even though we were removed from a slight risk to a marginal risk, these storms are still packing a punch, so we really do not want you all outside at all, especially if you are along I-4, from Polk all the way down to Hillsborough, and south of that, because we still have a ways to go. But if you are in Citrus County, Hernando County, western Pasco County, and even most of Pasco right now, you're good to go. Still a little bit of lightning out there, so I would just kind of hunker down for a little bit more, but that severe threat, you're done with that. Northwestern Pinellas, northwestern Hillsborough, you're improving significantly right now. So this is not going to be an all-day situation with this squall line moving through. I have no idea who is messing with. Hey, Rich, I'm on here. We have all of us here in the newsroom today. Grant, Bobby, Rich, Tyler, and myself. And we only have 3 other computers, so there could be some confusion. But we're all here to keep you covered. Anna said, good to go swimming on the beach on Saturday. Yeah, go for it. Why not? Get a little dip in. Saturday's going to be beautiful. Absolutely stunning on Saturday. Of course, a little breezy. We could have a rip current risk on Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised if we do, since those winds are still going to be on the stronger side. But just keep that in mind. I think Saturday will still be a pretty decent beach day, if not a lovely beach day for you, Miss Anna. And of course, if you're like Anna, if you're like Virginia, and you have any questions, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to be on here almost all day, so we can talk, we can chit-chat. We can talk about anything if you want. If you have weather questions, let me know. So once again, if you're just now tuning in, no severe warnings at this time for our viewing area. Outside of the viewing area for the Orlando area, Orange, Osceola, and Seminole have a severe thunderstorm warning until the next few minutes, 12:45. But that's just right outside of our area. That does not include us. But you can see these storms. What I like to see here, if you look at this loop, right? You see how there's still a bit of lightning there, but those reds, they're not as dark, they're not as concentrated as they were a little earlier. And that's a good indicator that these storms are in fact weakening just a little bit. Still packing a good punch, especially the storms moving into Lakeland right now. If you are in the northwestern part of Polk County, it's getting very loud, all right? Let's get loud. That's what's happening over there. And, but you can see it's looking better. It's looking better than how it was looking a little earlier. These reds are a little less concentrated as they head into, this line heads into the Mulberry area. Fish Hawk is getting really loud at this time. Welcome. Pierce, you're about to get some heavy rain there. This is still torrential rain though, but we are seeing a little bit of improvement. Gosh, look at all that lightning over the bay. Hope there's no boaters out there. Usually boaters are good with keeping up with the marine forecast. They have a weather radio sometimes on their boats, but that's nasty. That is just ridiculous. Look at all that lightning. Look at all that heavy rain, just straight up red over the bay. And this is pushing into that coastal Hillsborough County area. And this will also begin to push into Manatee County pretty soon here. Tierra Verde is just dealing with, it's getting rocked right now with storms moving through. You can see this edge here. It's now going to be pushing in into Manatee. I'm going to draw a line. Let's go a little bit in. I'm going to draw a track for you in case you are living in those areas in our southern counties that we love so much. This is going, the last time I checked, it's going about 45 miles per hour. That sounds about right. So let's draw out a track here. Anna Maria, you are about to be up next. Hopefully no one is at Anna Maria right now. That would not be good. All right, Anna Maria at 12:47. So within about 5 minutes for the Anna Maria area. What is going on with my light? My light. Anna Maria around 7:47, excuse me. No, I just messed all this up, guys. Parrish, 12:55. Duets, 1:14, 1:18 for Torrey. 1:36 for Avon Park, all the way in our inland counties there. So that's about, give it about an hour for Hernando and De Soto County. These storms will be approaching you by then. But we are seeing some improvements, which is good. Lisa, how long is the storm going to last? So that's a different answer for everybody, pretty much depending on where you live. But I do want to give the all clears to, you see this line here. That's pretty much our threat. There's not much behind that, so spotty showers are possible as we get into the afternoon and evening. But this main line will continue to push through, and then let's say you're in northern Hillsborough to Tampa area. Tampa within the next hour, you'll be done. Within the next 30 minutes, you'll be done as these storms continue to push into southern Hillsborough. Most of Pinellas right now is seeing some big improvements, except our beach communities, Tierra Verde, Boca Ciega, St. Pete Beach is still getting hammered and rocked with rain. But give it about half an hour, there's going to be some improvements there. So if you are around and north of I-4, by the rain altogether, 2 o'clock, you know, a lot of places will be dry by 2. Now, if you're in inland Polk County, if you're in Manatee County, Highlands, Hardy, DeSoto, the rain hasn't even really gotten to you just yet. We're seeing some isolated pockets of rain in southern Highlands, but that's not a part of the main line. You can see there's a lot more real estate to work with as we get into the afternoon. So around, you know, our immediate Tampa Bay area, we're going to see some big improvements within the next hour, and that severe threat is really just pushing to the east and south. So if you're in inland Polk, Lake Wales, you still have a ways to go here before the storms get to you. Duet hasn't gotten to you yet, but give it about half an hour to an hour. It's going to be there pretty soon. Sarasota County, give it about an hour. The good thing about these storms is that they are on the weakening trend. So the intensity that we were seeing with these storms a little earlier this morning, around 9 o'clock, has improved a bit. We're not really seeing the incredibly intense rain, and the lightning has pulled back a touch. There's still a bunch of lightning out there. But one of the storms that we were looking at earlier had about 300, a little more than 300 lightning strikes. And we're seeing some improvements with the lightning end, but these storms are still weakening, which is good. We love to see it. You can see in Lakeland right now, that's still some heavy rain, but comparatively speaking, you look at what's over the Gulf, or not Gulf, well, the Gulf technically, but over the Bay, that's really heavy rain. But compared to Lakeland, compared to inland Hillsborough County, they're seeing a bit more pockets of reds. So that's those pockets of torrential rain, and so that's a good indicator that these storms are improving a little bit, but it's still blowing out just a bit, especially when you get into the Winter Haven area and Bartow. So if you're in those areas, I'm sure you might hear the wind roaring just a little bit. You can see these pops of pink, and that does indicate stronger winds within the storm. I'm not seeing any rotation here. This is our velocity product. When we're looking for rotation, you like to see the greens and the reds together. That indicates that gate-to-gate shear and rotation in the atmosphere. Those winds could be transporting down to the surface and producing a tornado. We don't see that, but also with our velocity product, when we see those brighter reds, pinks really, or those brighter greens, sometimes blues, that does indicate really strong winds and still higher up in the atmosphere, but that could very well be making its way down to the surface. And so if you're in Polk City, Haines City, Winter Haven, you may be hearing that wind. You may be seeing the trees blow a little bit harder than they have been over the last hour or two with this storm moving through. Yeah, strong winds within that particular cell. You can see it bowing out there, moving into Winter Haven and Bartow. Good indicator that there's some strong winds along the leading edge of that storm. Anna says, in Clearwater, I think it's done now and the sun is trying to come out. Yeah, that's a good indicator there. Yeah, Clearwater, you're pretty much done with that today. You are improving significantly. There's still a little bit of rain on the backside of this leading edge. None of that is severe. None of that is severe at this time. Please feel free to answer or ask any questions if you have any. I'm here to answer them. Can you all see me? I'm trying to not mess with this too much. This battery could be going out. I'm gonna take a sip of water, guys. Let's look at the rainfall estimates. This will be interesting. I am very interested to see how much rain has fallen over the last 24 hours. Let's see, this is just, this is just to the south and east of Tarpon Springs, getting in a radar estimated rainfall about 6 inches, about 2.5 inches, not 6. That would be just crazy. 2.5 inches. That's some good rain that's fallen within a short amount of time. And that's another threat that we have today. Not a big flooding threat, but if you were driving within any of these storms, and especially in low-lying areas, poor drainage areas, which we have a lot of here in Florida, in the Tampa Bay area, pooling on the roads can happen really fast, especially when you have a rain estimate of 2.5 inches. So that could have potentially fallen within that short amount of time. Made it a very messy situation for those driving. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's see. Trying to get more rainfall estimates here. Let's see, St. Pete. I know a lot of rain probably fell in St. Pete, all around St. Pete. About 1.5 inches, yeah. Let's see, Indian Rocks Beach, close to 2 inches. Look at Tampa, about 1.5 inches. So that's some good rainfall. That's healthy rainfall. We do need it. You know, we're getting into rainy season, obviously, but we can use the rain. That's the thing about Florida. We have the environment where we can take a lot of rain in a short period of time. We have those grounds for it, so we can that 2.5. Like we're good with that. It's not too concerning. So some healthy rain definitely fell with some of these storms, but the rain did come through very dramatically. All right. Yeah, just keep looking at this line here. I don't see anything too severe. Still a lot of lightning. A lot of lightning, especially around the bay. But Tampa's looking a lot better. Steady rain right now moving through Tampa. Let's look at the winds. I like to see what the winds are talking about right now, because that will still, I wouldn't necessarily call it an issue today, but the winds will still be kind of on the higher end as we get into the afternoon and through our Friday. So not really letting up. Oh, that's not current winds. Let's look at current winds, please. There we go. You can see those pops of yellows. That does indicate some higher winds, potentially up to 20 miles per hour, and gusts even higher than that. But you can still see those winds offshore still pushing out of the southwest. That will eventually shift as we get into the rest of the day. You'll see the winds coming out of the northwest, and that will help to cool us down. Right now, the culprit of what's cooling us down is the rain, but then we'll get that air mass change as we get into the afternoon through the evening once those winds start to shift and once that cold front moves through. Which I'll show the futurecast here, which I'm telling you right now, the futurecast has not really done a great job. This particular model here has not done a good job with this particular system today. It was a bit of a hard forecast, so I'll give it that, but you know, it really held back on the intensity and the timing. It just didn't do really well on that. And so the futurecast, though, I do want to show you when the storms are expected to be out of here. Oh, so now it's picking up on all that. Look at that. That was not there about an hour ago, 2 hours ago. That wasn't there yesterday. But this is right now 12:50. It's doing pretty well. Picking up is already out there. There's that cold front just to the back end of that. And you can see those winds start to shift out of the northwest. This is 5 o'clock. It still looks like some storms could still be lingering around Sarasota County, Hardy, DeSoto, and Highlands County. And this is kind of a slower mover. A lot of the time we have these strong cold fronts moving through, and they whip through very, very fast. In this situation, it's not going as fast. So still at 5 o'clock, maybe heading home from work or picking up the kids from school, especially if you're in our southern counties, Sarasota, Hardy, DeSoto, and Highlands County. Still some storms lingering around, but much clearer conditions and quieter conditions north of that area. So most of Manatee County, Polk, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, Hernando, Citrus County, you'll be good by 5. Just those winds will be kind of steady coming in from the northwest, so a bit breezy as you make your way into the afternoon. Not the best skirt day, ladies. Not a good hair day either. And then we get out of look at that. We get out of Thursday into Friday. Still those winds, kind of on the stronger side, moving in from the northwest, but that's really ushering in that cooler air for us. You can see at 1 o'clock on Friday, temperatures at around 71 degrees. So that's going to be comfortable, something to look forward to. Jackie said she's looking forward to that cold front. I am too, girl. I am looking forward to it. We need those. I love a 70 moment. I love a 70s sunshine combination. Even with the winds, I'll take it. It's been a little too muggy over the last few days. So this is going to be a treat heading into this weekend. It's a Saturday morning, still a couple of clouds, those cold clouds moving offshore, and then those winds start to shift more so directly out of the north, and that's just going to reinforce the 70s, the cooler air over us, the drier air, as we get into the start of our Saturday. And through Sunday, look at that. Still dry, still clear. That's a lot of sunshine you're really looking at. So very comfortable conditions for our weekend. And then temperatures will start to rise back up as we head into next week. We're back in the 80s. Also look at the dew points here. That does tell a story as well. The drier air will really settle in. You can see here, it takes a while to come up. Look at that. Look at those. Look at Pensacola, Panama City. You see the browns, the darker, the lighter greens. That does indicate drier air moving in. Look at that gradient change. Ooh, yeah. That's what we like to see. Dew points in the 40s, coupled with highs in the 70s. Comfortable, refreshing. You can definitely open up your windows as we head into the weekend each morning to let in that cool air, to get that fresh air into your home. Johnny said, thanks for the update. My oldest son lives there in Tampa. It's good that you're checking in on your older son, making sure he's okay. Everything's going to be okay. There's no severe storms at this time. And this is just so typical for us. You know, we get these strong cold fronts moving through. We have the really robust storms we have to get through. It's a little dramatic throughout some parts of the day. It's usually not an all-day situation. Once we're done with the rain, we can enjoy the nicer weather behind it. So we have some positives here as we get into the weekend. So yeah, I'm showing the dew points here. Those browns, that's very dry air, comfortable air. I'm looking forward to that. And some of that air does hang around for the start of the week. So even though we're warming back up as we get into Monday and Tuesday, we're back in the 80s. It's not going to be as oppressively humid, which is nice. It was so humid the last few days because we had those winds just surging out of the south, and that's a warmer and moister wind for us. And so that surface moisture was really on the uptick, and we had dew points yesterday and today in the lower 70s. That's more of a summertime situation for us, and you can really feel that stepping outside, just smack you in your face, and just that air, really heavy air, and you have a really warm wind, but it's still hot. So yeah, definitely doesn't really feel like April out there. But we will feel some spring-like weather, slightly below average though. 75 degrees is about 5 to 6 degrees below where we're supposed to be this time of year, but not a big temperature dip. You know, it's not one of those wintertime cold fronts that bring our temperatures down to the 30s. We're not going to see that at all this weekend. Not the wind though. Last time I lost my hat. Yeah, hold on to your hats, Jackie. That is definitely going to be the situation over the next couple of days. Those winds really aren't going to let up too much, but it's not going to be incredibly windy. There's one situation about in January. We had a strong cold front move through. It was during one of the football games, one of the Bucks games, and that was like the windiest Bucks game that they had in a while. So that definitely might have affected the kicking game a little bit, but it's not going to be like that at all. I'm wondering why my light here keeps going down. That's frustrating. I'm going to adjust that a bit. Yeah, whatever. All right. Can I drink some more water? For the 9 people that's with me, hey, We're still looking at this line of storms that is weakening, which is nice. We were in a slight risk. The SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, had us in that level 2 slight risk earlier today. These storms are now showing that they're weakening a little bit. They're still strong, but they are weakening, so we're now moved out of a slight to a marginal risk. We've only had one tornado warning today. We've had one severe thunderstorm warning today, and that's it. You were with me yesterday. I was talking about how sometimes we're in the slight risk, and sometimes we don't get any warnings at all. Sometimes we're in a marginal risk, and we get 5 warnings, tornado warnings. Sometimes we're in no risk, and we get warnings. So that's just all to say that whenever we have any type of storm risk, always be aware. Keep your eye on the radar if you have any plans. Because a lot of times we are in these higher risk levels and it doesn't really play out. And we kind of saw that today. These storms are still packing a punch, but we didn't really see the numerous severe storms that were kind of dictated by that slight risk that we were in. But they were still strong. I'm going to take you back out a little while if I can. You can see how much stronger they were just about an hour ago. You can see those reds are a little less concentrated now. Still the lightning present, but we like to see that. We like to see that weakening trend there as these lines continue to push out of Pinellas, still hanging around Hillsborough, mainly inland Hillsborough. Stephen, I have a quick question. Is there a way we can adjust the light? It keeps going down, or is that just the battery?
Oh, it might be the battery.
Yeah.
We can switch the battery.
Okay. Thank you. So if you have any questions for me, please let me know. We're getting hyper local here. I've been on for, I don't even know how long I've been on. If you've been hanging around for as long as I've been on, hey, thanks, we're best friends now. If the light may go out real quickly, and it's going to come right back on. Ooh, in the dark. Montrese says the Bermuda Triangle real. This is not the chat for you, Montrese. Not well versed in conspiracy theories. I'm sure there's a Reddit thread for that, though. No, it's fine. We're just adjusting the light. Do we have to turn it back on?
I don't have enough hands.
Oh. Let me hold something. Oh, no! Let there be light. Haha. There we go. Thank you, Stephen. Alrighty, friends. Cooking with gas. There we go. Ooh. Ooh, that's bright. If I look right into it, I'll go blind. But yeah, if you're just tuning in, we got new batteries for the light. So we are bright. We are ready to rock and roll. I mean, we've been rocking and rolling all day. We have the entire weather team here with us today. We have Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. I think Grant probably just left. I hope he did. He's been here all morning. We have Tyler Moore. We have Rich Fields, and I'm here holding down the streaming center, having a conversation with some of you all. Montrese said, too much light. Careful what you ask for. It is a lot of light. I have to turn down a little bit. I can't even see right now. I hear Bobby's voice. Spotter. Oh, okay. We got some spotter reports on here. Oh, this isn't confirmed, though. From a Lakeland Linder. Spotted a QLCS funnel attempt to spin up. Promptly fizzled out approximately 5 miles to the north-northwest of the radars. So that's what I was saying a little earlier, if you've been here with me for a while. With these quasi-linear convective systems, basically squall lines, a line of thunderstorms. That was a very fancy way of calling it that. We can get these notches in the storm. Those winds could rotate real quickly, but as quickly as they rotate, as quickly as they try to rotate and get a funnel down to the ground, the quicker they just dissipate and fall apart. And so we see that a lot, especially here in Florida, where we really don't have the environment for those supercellular structures, those discrete cells that like to form ahead of the line of storms, that could, develop develop a tornado, or basically have those types of those supercellular structures that you see in the Midwest. We don't really get that sometimes when we have these straight thunderstorm lines moving through. This light is just distracting me. It's so bright. When we have these straight line of storms moving through, we can get those spin ups within the line there. So it looked like something tried to spin up over in Lakeland near the airport. And I think maybe there's some video. Bobby was saying there might be some video. But no confirmation as of yet. We've had no tornado confirmations as of yet. I can't even look at this. This light's so bright. I'm blinded right now. But let's getting back to the radar here. Whoosh. All right. Billsville, Winston, Lakeland, still moving through Lakeland. Oh, this is 12:30. That's why. That doesn't make any sense. Lakeland, you are improving significantly. So the severe threat is pretty much done from, you see that line? That line is breaking apart, y'all. It is really just, at least the stronger rains, those reds, they are falling apart a little bit. I'm not even seeing as much lightning within this line anymore, which is a good indication, especially in Polk County and inland Hillsborough County. Now, when you go back over to Manatee and coastal Hillsborough, I'm still looking at this one right here, this particular side of the line. Still producing really torrential rain is moving into Ruskin. That's where our radar site is. That's where the National Weather Service is. So I'm sure they're really hearing it right now. Tierra Verde, still some pockets of rain moving through, heavy rain. But this is now continuing to shift to the south, around the bay, pushing into, of course, coastal Hillsborough, the Sun City Center area. There we go. Piney Point, that entire area of the coastal Hillsborough and coastal Manatee around the bay, now getting in on really heavy rain, still a lot of lightning there. Apollo Beach. If you're in those areas, let me know. Let me know what you're hearing. Let me know what you're seeing. Hopefully you're inside of a house. Waimama, this is about to be right on top of you. Willow, this is about to be right on top of you. Traveling around 674, Highway 674. This is about to be a rough drive if you're in the Waimama area. Yeah, this is moving through pretty, I hear myself. Let me turn this down. Jackie, you're going to need sunglasses for that light. I know. I might get them, honestly. I'm looking like a diva out here. Like a celebrity with my sunglasses on. Tornado coverage or severe weather coverage. But it will be helpful. Just zooming through, looking at this line here, naming out some cities. If you have any cities that you're concerned about, if you have any neighborhoods you're concerned about, put them in the chat. Let me know. We shall discuss. But a lot of northern Hillsborough and most of Pinellas, most of the Nature Coast, all of our Nature Coast counties pretty much. The severe threat is over. You may get some light rain still over the next hour or two, but there's no big storm threat at that time. Apollo Beach, just getting hammered right now. That I-75 corridor moving through Hillsborough County. A lot of people take that route actually from work here. They go down the Sunshine Skyway and move up 75 to head into that part of Hillsborough County. So I know that's a really popular route. Hopefully no one's driving on that road because it's not a fun drive right now. Let's see. Adamsville, yeah, it's pretty bad. Fishhawk is just it is going to be improving in Fishhawk over the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. And a lot of this rain is producing, this line is producing really heavy rain. So in those low-lying areas, those urban roads, where it could be some poor drainage, not the best drive. We could get some flooding. We have no flood warnings or anything like that in effect right now, or flood advisories. But that's definitely a bit of a threat today. The good thing about Florida is that we can take a lot of rain in a short period of time. I toggled over one area that radar picked up about 2.5 inches of rain, that was near Tarpon Springs. So let's see how much. Goodness, over the bay, it's just possibly about 2 inches. Look at Tierra Verde. See how much rain they've gotten. Let's see. St. Pete, South St. Pete, let's see. About 2 inches, there we go. Tierra Verde. About almost 2 inches as well. Apollo Beach. 1.5, and the rain is still coming down in Apollo Beach, so I expect that to go up a little bit. Jackie said it's thundering in Tampa now. The rain is starting to ease up. So yeah, you're still hearing that lightning. You're still hearing that thunder because there's still lightning in the area, but the severe threat is we're pretty much done for Tampa. And really most of the area north of Tampa, all of the area, everyone north of Tampa now, you're good to go with the severe threat. It's still some light rain, but that's pretty much it for now. The areas that still need to watch out for this weakening line, as I may add, is Manatee County. So Anna Maria Island, that area, this is moving kind of slow. I had it tracked at around 45 miles per hour earlier. I think this might be a little less than that. Anna Maria honestly kind of got out of the way here. They avoided the severe weather threat. We could see all that lightning just in coastal Hillsborough, around Ruskin, right where the National Weather Service is. They are getting pounded right now with rain, and that's a lot of lightning. That's a lot of lightning. Not a good situation. Let's look at the lightning count. I'm curious how much lightning that is. And yeah, we are the lightning capital of the world, our country. That's over the world. We get a lot of lightning, so it's not new to us. But it's still a very dangerous situation, especially we've had stories in the news recently, local stories about, people getting injured by lightning. So we really don't want you outside. About 140 lightning strikes. That's a lot. And with some storms, north of us, when the storms were a little more intense, we had lightning strikes up to 300 at one time, just in one cell. A good indicator that these storms are still packing the intensity. Also a good indicator that there could be some hail in these storms coming down. But we really haven't seen a lot in the sense of hail today. The most I've seen, radar indicated at least, no confirmations, was offshore Citrus County, and that was about 1/8 of an inch. So nothing significant on the hail side. Let's look at hail tracks, or hail. Yeah. Not a lot at all. So yeah, these storms are continuing to weaken. We love to see it, but still around coastal Hillsborough, moving into Manatee County, the Piney Point area. This is still, that's a nasty storm moving through. And in coastal Hillsborough, we'll start to see improvements within the next 20 to 30 minutes as it continues to push into that southern corner of Hillsborough. But that's the worst of it right now. See most of Polk. It's some good rain moving through. Winter Haven, Willow Oak, Bartow, the Legoland area. Still some heavy pockets, but nothing even really strong to indicate. I don't really see any strong winds with this as well in Polk County. So that's a good sign. And we'll continue to see weakening throughout the day, which is great. That's probably why the SPC pulled back on that slight risk and brought us back down to a marginal risk. Let's look at how high these storms are in the atmosphere. I'm going to do a little 3D slice. Right here. Not very high. That's not really impressive at all. Getting up to about 20,000 feet. Flying is about 30,000. So not even that high. that's a good sign. When we see those storms higher up, or those cloud tops higher up in the atmosphere, that's a good indication that these storms are kind of on the intenser side, the more intense side, rather. Intenser is not a word. Or a little more intense, so we're not really seeing that right now. Let's look at cloud tops. These yellows. Close to 30,000 feet. Still strong, but you can really see in Polk County those greens. Yeah, that's not too significant. We have seen taller storms, and those tall storms are stuff. That's what we really look for in the terms of intensity. And the higher you go in the atmosphere, especially it's a lot colder up there, you can get hail forming with those taller storms, and we don't really have the environment for that now, which is good. Okay. Alrighty, once again, if you're just now tuning in, I don't know how long I've been on here. I have no idea how long. Yeah, we just have thunderstorms in the area, nothing severe. No severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings, no flood advisories. Just a really nasty storm moving into southern Hillsborough County, coastal Hillsborough. That's going to push into Manatee pretty soon here. Give it about 30 minutes. Duet, Piney Point. Piney Point's already kind of seeing a little bit of it. But the Parish area is about to get really loud. It's about to get really loud really soon. But our severe weather threat is really diminishing right now, which is great. So, you know, since there's not really much of a threat right now, I'm actually going to end this. Maybe get some lunch. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm mainly on my Facebook page. But for now, I'm going to pull away. We'll probably hop back on later today. Or maybe Bobby may hop back on, or any of our other Mets in here, maybe Natalie. But what we're seeing right now is just some nasty storms below severe criteria moving through inland Hillsborough, about to move into Manatee. So if I see these storms starting to intensify once again, I'll hop back on here. But for now, I'll leave you guys. Be safe. Obviously, do not go outside with any of these storms, especially if you're in inland Hillsborough, south of Brandon, Fishhawk area, Riverview, Sun City Center, Ruskin. And if you're in northern Manatee, hunker down, because that nasty storm is headed your way as well. But for now, that's pretty much all I have, and I will let you guys go, and I may see you all a little later. Here's that view. I'm going to put it in movement once again. You can really see here how the storms have really lost intensity, which is good. We love to see it, but especially that storm in Hillsborough County is still packing a lot of lightning, so make sure you're being safe. If you have to head out there on the roads or head outside, we really don't want you to be outside right now. But north of that line, Tampa, the city of Tampa, and north of it, we're done with the severe weather threat today. And then we're going to transition to a little bit of some nicer weather. Nicer, cooler, sunnier. There was a nice little storm trying to brew up offshore of the Pinellas County coastline, but that's below severe limits too. So that's it for me. You have a good day, and I will see you all when I see you. Bye.